James Pickup?
Pickup. I'm going to give you some.
James.
I'm going to tell you something that Eric said that's probably it's so profound what you just said, and it's this. I got sober in Brooklyn, right? You got sober out here, but one of the things they always used to say to me was, "Get sober where you came from," and this was just me at the time,
really,
because they said, because it was so. Somebody said it to me, because I had to know, I went to rehabs in Israel, Florida, Arizona, all over the world. But they said you got to get it in Brooklyn, and and what Eric was saying to you, Pickup, is it's not Southie. If you want to make that commitment to getting sober, you could go any way you want to go.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, no,
sure.
absolutely, and I totally agree. But what you just said, if you ask Eric, if you go to try to get sober in Southie, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You go to the meetings,
It's hard.
90% of the
Yeah.
people
For sure.
in the meetings are still getting high, trying to tell you they're
That's-
sober.
Yeah, no, you're right. No, I was just saying,
Yeah.
like the town is great, and there's people in there that don't use and that are great people.
Right.
And it comes off bad. That's all I was saying. I know what you mean, man.
Where are you located now? What part of Boston?
I just moved out to Needham.
Okay, I got a lot of
you.
good friends out there that are sober a long time in Boston, sober. And if you want to stay, I will gladly, if you Facebook me, Pickup, you could do it totally anonymously. I'll give you a lot of their names.
Okay.
And they're just good dudes. They're good dudes that have 20 years sober. And they're having, how old are you?
I'm 24.
I'm going to tell you something. There are a lot of these young people conventions, and I'm telling this to everybody out there that's listening in Boston and all across America. When I got sober, I used to go to these things called these young people's conventions where there were 3,000, 4,000 people from all across America, and it was 3,000, 4,000 people, young people that wanted to get sober, not like the people in the meetings in Southie, some of them that are like saying they are. There was people that wanted it.
Yeah.
And you sound like you
I
want
know.
it,
If you're
Pickup.
calling
Yeah,
and
for calling, for sure.
Yeah.
I really appreciate
see,
it, Pickup.
Boston,
Thank
what
you.
you're
Yeah.
doing, you're making a
Come and
difference.
show the love, man.
Yeah, you made me mad emotional, man.
Great thing, man.
Thank
Pickup,
you.
you're a good guy. Can you Facebook me that, Pickup?
Yeah, definitely, guys. Hey, have a good night, guys. and
Thank you for
keep
calling.
Hey,
going.
just
Thank
keep
you.
on keeping on. Like,
Yeah.
keep trying.
Yeah.
Don't
One
give
day
up.
at a time.
God bless, Pickup.
Thank you.
I got
Have a
emotion.
good night, guys.
Talk to you
Good
later.
night.
And I'm going to say something right now. Pickup was awesome, by the way. Let me just, if you're just tuned in, you're listening to KLEAN Radio. We're in the studio tonight with Jennifer Gimenez, Eric Adams from Rehab, and just good dude, and Erica Abfab Spiegelman from ericaspiegelman.com. But what's so cool is, for a long time out there, people question the need for shows like this, the need for shows like Celebrity Rehab, and now Rehab, and all these shows. And we live in a bubble sometimes in Los Angeles, thinking because we know about AA or the 12 steps and rehabs that everybody across America does.
No, of course not.
You're from Southie. How many people would you say in Southie know what rehab is? I'm sorry to put you on a spot like that.
Maybe not a lot.
Not a lot.
You know,
I was from
didn't
San
even know-
Francisco, and I didn't know.
Right.
I didn't
Well,
even
my
know about
family
the
didn't
12
know,
step.
yeah.
I didn't even know about what
Right.
a 12 step was when I came out here.
So how did you find out about rehab?
I was actually at a bottom. I was homeless. I was living with my sister. We were not getting along. I was bouncing around, and I got on my dad's health insurance. So I had the chance to go somewhere else in New England, and I looked up on Google for rehabs, and it came up that Dr. Drew was casting. And something told me I was going to get this. It took a couple months, so I was like, I'm going to go on a run and, see if
they
I
call,
get
they
this.
call.
If they cast other people, then, I'll do whatever. But
Wow.
I lucked out.
What a
And that's
God
amazing. And I think it's so cool because had Dr. Drew not been casting this,
Yeah.
and had there not be shows like Rehab on, you're not sitting here tonight.
Right.
True, very
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
And so the people out there that are questioning what's the need, pick up in Boston tonight. Might never have known what rehab is, what any
sobriety
of it,
looks
what
like.
sobriety
Any of
looks
this
like,
is,
if
yeah.
not for you.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah,
I mean,
And that's
Deep.
cool. Don't get too, you know what I mean? That's not too much.
Yeah.
You're walking the walk right now. Don't
Right.
get too that's it, when they say it's a program of attraction, not promotion. You're walking the walk.
yeah,
so,
being you,
yeah.
not trying to
Yeah,
have
no,
to
for
be
sure.
something else.
Not putting on another mask.
Nope.
No, exactly.
And Erica, let's get back to
Exactly.
masks
Yeah.
like that. What's the
Yeah.
best way? Obviously,
Yeah.
getting sober is the first step sometimes in
Yeah. Well, we talked about it before. Sometimes when people get sober, they haven't known who they've been, for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years because they've been hiding behind all these masks. So it's really important for people to begin to get in touch with, what hobbies they like, who they are, what makes them feel good, what's positive in their life, who's positive in their life. It's so funny. when Jen was talking about the masks that, she is very aware that she wears or that she wore, I mean, we do have to a certain degree, be different people to different, in different places in our life. But at the same time, when we're not kind of honoring our authentic selves, when we're not honoring what feels right to us, that is when I think the masks need to be shed,
I love what you're saying. It's so true. I didn't know that even in my recovery, and I've traveled the world. I've lived all over the world. I speak 4 languages, and like something like common sense like that I didn't know about, and my sponsor, thank God, she was like, you get to find out who you want to be. And I'm like, what does that look like? Because she told me to start asking lots of questions, and one of the things was I get to ask myself, and I do all the time, every day, like, who am I today? What do I feel like?
Right.
What do I want to wear? Like, is this what I would wear at this moment? Like,
exactly, something like that. Like, Judah, you said, how do people begin that? But it's really to ask yourself, how can I honor myself? Like, does this decision feel right to me? Or is it someone else wants me to do that?
Right.
Or, should I get married because someone's telling me I should get married? Or I should be doing
or should I
this,
stay in that relationship because
Right.
someone said I have to?
Right. It's the shoulds, and it's all that kind of pressure from external sources, not internal. So I think you really have to take a look internally and start to, find out what feels right to you.
Right.
Yeah.
By the way, if you just tuned in, you're listening to KLEAN Radio. That's KLEAN with a K. And I want everybody out there to go like us on Facebook.
Yes.
Facebook.com/KLEAN Radio. We have an awesome page with all our past shows, but we also have a great show tonight.
Yeah, we have a really good show.
It could
an
almost feel like
vibe in
I'm
here.
almost feeling like I'm going to have a Barbara Walters moment from somebody.
Well, yeah. Why are
Yeah.
you looking at me? Because
Because
I always
you're-
cry. Because
yes.
now I have feelings.
I think a Barbara
Oh,
Walters
I
moment
love that
from
you have
you, Jen, would be
feelings.
not to cry. And I'm joking.
That would be
Everybody out there
honoring it.
knows I love Jennifer Gimenez.
we just go at it. We're
yes.
like bickering.
And we're like, brother and
married
sister. We like to go.
couple, yeah, that
and let's go
platonic.
That
with
makes for a good show.
Yeah.
Yes. But it's true love. It's not like,
I have to. I'm not kidding you. I love him with all my heart. Like he's one of my angels.
and
honestly.
you know what, Jen? We're boring people out there by telling them this stuff. No, I'm joking.
Oh God, I had you had a kind of a moment of a
Yeah, that was
feeling.
almost.
It was almost like
you had to get in there.
I
but it
think
was
20 more years sober, I'll have it. And if you just tuned in, please give us a call at 888-539-2980. That's 888-539-2980. I'm actually interested in hearing from some of the past callers that, I don't want to say their name to put too much pressure on them, to see how they're doing.
Wait, can I tell you about
Yes.
that? About people who are doing well?
Yes.
Patrick, who called in because of the Facebook post
Yes.
about the show being on, he has been emailing me and letting me know he's kind of okay.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we'll hear from
I haven't
Patrick
heard
tonight.
from him in like a week and a half.
Yeah, but let me ask you a question, and I think I want us to all talk about this. Halloween's coming up, and let's just take the masks aside and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You're going to be 90 days sober tonight.
Correct.
Did you what are your Halloween plans?
I am staying away from any type of Halloween parties. I walk around, I see everyone dressed up, I get jealous, but I'm too weak right now to even go near even a sober party. I just can't do it.
Right.
And that's okay,
So my
though.
plan is to stay home with my sober friends.
Yeah.
I don't
out.
get it personally. I'm 14 years sober. I like to stay away from. It's just I got to be honest.
But it's not because you're afraid. you're
No,
gonna
it's because I
drink.
can't
It's
stand Halloween.
Yeah, you know what I gotta tell you?
That's the difference.
Halloween and New Year's Eve for me, I think they're amateur nights because I was always high and drunk. So like for me, I'm like, why do I want to do that? I get scared. I don't do it either. And it's not that I'm scared I'm gonna go drink. I just had really bad experiences when I celebrated. Although last year I did do Halloween one night and it was like, okay, I'm done. I've done it.
I think it's great for kids. I mean, I think it's
for
great.
sure.
Go trick-or-treating. But if you're above the age of 30 or 35, since
Time to put it to
yeah,
rest.
it's time to put that costume to.
Yeah.
But you know what? I was in Las Vegas
Yes.
yesterday, as you know, or actually today, and I just went for a birthday party, actually, but it was Halloween there, and everybody was dressing up. And really, and I have to say this, our country, there's an epidemic going on with people that are abusing substances.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just, it's really quite a shock when you see.
People are getting high in Vegas?
No, I mean,
Shocking.
That's
Were they drunk and gambling too, Erica?
No, that's not what shocked me. It was the all ages, all walks of life. Everybody is just out of their mind. And I think, in Vegas, I think they think that, they're allowed to do that, which is fine. I'm not judging them, but at the same time, it's just really interesting.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree with you more. There is this thing out there, and I really do believe that sobriety And I'm not just talking about sobriety. I'm talking about like this. The real buzz in life is to do it sober. I don't care who you are. And
that's an adventure.
Yeah, that is an adventure. And I say this to all the young girls out there, all the young guys that don't have to be addicts.
That's the best thing.
Enjoy everything. Enjoying things sober, there's nothing greater.
Yeah.
And I don't care if it's from sober sex to sober dating to sober anything. Holidays, right.
I know everyone gets really scared for sober sex.
Yeah.
I'm very scared too.
I am too.
Yeah. Don't worry, Jen will show you. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Dun. Oh my God.
But no, I mean, I think we live in a culture, and I hate getting into the culture thing, but it's true. We do live in a culture where people just, it's what is it?
They disconnect. They are disconnected to themselves, to others, and I mean, especially when everybody is so out of their minds, they're not even really enjoying who they're with, what the moment's about, and they're not present. And it's really, I love what you said. That's the best thing I've heard in a long time. That really, the true testament to really living a life of truth and adventure is to be sober and take that chance, because
I mean, it really is the greatest rush in the world, and I thought jumping out of a plane would give me a rush, and all it did was hurt my butt and make my ear, I couldn't hear for a week, and I thought this would give me the buzz, but I gotta tell you, doing things coherently, and it doesn't mean that they're always going to be great.
Well, that's not life.
Right, that's not life.
Right.
But
And
getting through it and being present for the experience, that's the journey. That's like,
and
for
that's
me,
the
privilege.
It's the privilege. I always say, when people say, oh, you don't drink, like, they kind of seem like they feel bad for me. I'm like, I am proud of myself, and it's a privilege,
By the way, we got to go to break. You're listening to KLEAN Radio. We have a great show going on tonight. We have calls lining up. Give us a call at 888-539-2980. That's 888-539-2980. I don't know what Rand, our producer, is doing in here, but he looks very scary. Or Judah will come to your house. And that's scary. The discussion continues at KLEANradio.com.
Are you struggling with an addiction that's ruining your life? Want to have a confidential conversation with a professional that will immediately assist you? Do you suspect a loved one is abusing drugs and would like a free drug testing kit and consultation? KLEAN Treatment Center is standing by right now to help those with addictions and the people who care about them. Call 888-601-6040. That's 888-601-6040. Or go to KLEAN Treatment Center, that's clean with a K, KLEANtreatmentcenter.com.